All right, here we go.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to
DeaconLive. DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, why are kids saying that's so 6'7"? And why are you not supposed to touch receipts? And police are ticketing drivers just because of their dealership. And also, a man that everyone knew his name has passed. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. And for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you updated on the news and viral videos and stories you might have missed over the last couple days, or we'll be talking about it here in the upcoming few. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's all we care about. Make sure that you're getting along with someone out there and everyone is doing fine. Well, someone who's not fine right now, we'll get on what everyone's talking about right now. On the front page of all the news articles and everything that's going on around this big wide world of ours, I didn't mean to say that, but it came out that way, is the New Orleans jailbreak. Now, not only is it 10 people, well, hold on. Not only is it a jailbreak, not only did 10 people break out of jail in New Orleans, not only, as of today, they've actually arrested 5 of them. This happened a couple days ago, by the way. They are talking about the police spokesperson that is giving the news conference. And if you haven't seen this clip, don't forget, for every podcast we have a matching video over on YouTube as well. Just search Deacon Live Podcast and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here. What they're talking about. Why is this not closing? I've hit close like 14 times. You were not closing. Why aren't you not closing? Anyways, what they're talking about is Major Stephanie Minto Gibson, because of her glasses. She's sitting here doing a news conference and saying that, hey, these people came out, they broke out, we're looking into them and stuff like that. But she's got like these almost, and it's been said a million times, so I'm just going to say it one more time just to add, insult to injury here. She looks like she's wearing the Green Lantern mask. She has glasses on, and they're like they're weird looking. They're very, very weird looking. And they're green. They're bright green. They look like she's wearing some kind of mask, a Marvel mask, and she's given this police, talking about the police department, and she's a spokesperson for them. So let's see. Here she is right here. I'm going to switch over to camera 4 so we can see what she actually looks like and what she's saying. Now, I'm sorry. Have you ever seen Police Academy? Was it Brooks? Put your hands up where I can... Don't move, dirtbag! I mean, she's got that real... hey, a couple people just left our facility. We are looking for them. But she's doing it with these green goblin glasses on. So here she goes right now. So here she is.
Once I was notified about the escapees, I immediately gathered a team of experienced staff and we started calling victims and survivors just to make sure that they are aware of what was going on and that they are safe.
I can't even pay attention to her, what she's saying. What she's saying is correct. Basically, these 10 people that are all felons, they were all in one friggin' cell. They were all felons and they all escaped, and we'll get into that here in just one sec. Saying that she's contacted the people that had cases, that brought up cases against these people to make sure, hey, guess what? My bad, yo.
We additionally sent our detectives to their homes for more safety measures, and that alone speaks measures.
You know what speaks measures? Wearing glasses you stole from the Green Lantern.
Yeah, see, her glasses are ridiculous. Can someone go up to her and say, hey, look, I know these are your glasses. These are your everyday glasses. Go back to me now. These are your everyday glasses that you wear all the time. And, can you put on something a little bit more reasonable, a little bit more, we have a uniform. We have a dress code. And maybe part of the dress code that's not defined is the glasswares. The glasswares has to be neutral colors from now on. I'm sure that's going to happen now. Now on, going to be neutral colors with your prescription in there. They can't be sunglasses because a lot of people have problems and so on and so forth. But they cannot be out any outside colors outside of your uniform colors. So if your uniform is beige and black, your glasses have to match that beige and black uniform. If your uniform is dark green and olive, then the glasses can match that as well. Her uniform is dark blue and white, and she's got neon green glasses on. So what they've done is they've called in an expert to kind of conversate and talk about what actually happened with this escape. 10 inmates, 10 felons, just running right out the back door saying, "See you later, we're out of here, Dufresne, come back." And they brought in an expert who knows everything about chasing down people. And we're going to go over to Fox News right now, and we're going to talk to Dog the Bounty Hunter. Where's this guy been, right? Under a rock somewhere? So here he is, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Alert: 6 of the 10 escaped inmates in New Orleans are still on the loose. But someone new is behind bars, 33-year-old maintenance worker Sterling Williams. According to Louisiana Attorney General, Williams said he turned off the water in the cell before the men removed a toilet and a sink, cut through the steel bars, and then just slipped out. Williams says one of the escapees, Antoine Macy, threatened to shank him if he didn't do it, and another tried to steal his phone. Here with me now is someone who knows manhunts better than anyone, Dwayne Chapman, a.k.a. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Dog, good to see you.
What's up, Dog? Look at your face. You have had some work done. His lips are all Botox injected. He's had some cheek work done. He's had some work done, this guy. He's holding on. He's still rocking that blonde, beautiful mullet with all those Native American feathers all weaved in him and stuff. And so let's see what he has to say.
Your take on this crazy story.
Dark sunglasses, too.
Well, there's a lot of different things. Number one, what is 10 felons doing in one cell? How did they ever get out of there without anyone watching them? So I think that far, not seeing surveillance, all that, I think it is definitely an inside job.
Well, so the maintenance worker admitted to turning off the water.
Pay attention,
but
Dog.
Essentially is saying he did so under duress or threat. Now, why he wouldn't have just gone to someone and said these guys are a threat?
Oh, ad.
Try us now. Special sample rate to try custom match.
That makes zero sense to me.
Absolutely. And how, if they're going to shank him, they're supposed to search the cell, especially that biggest cell, every single day. So how did anyone even have a shank? It's a lot different, like a county city jail than prison. So how did they, how?
And I hate to bring this up because we were talking about glasses. Here is Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's got, jet black glasses. There's no sunlight getting through those things. And so is this the case of sunglasses?
They get it in there.
Is there any reason whatsoever in today's day and age with surveillance capability, all the high-tech surveillance we have, even in prisons that are under a lot of stress, and this was because overcrowded, obviously, is there any reason this should ever happen?
No, I've heard from a lot of people down there that it's a very poor, they don't have the money to do anything. They keep cutting their funding, and taking away what they got. So when you do that, this is exactly what's going to happen. 10 men together, all violent, most of them gun charges. You start sitting in the cell and planning. And some of them sit there for almost a year before they're given a preliminary hearing. So I don't know what's going on down there.
I don't know what's going down there either. Down in New Orleans. Let's go back to me now. And so 10 guys, got a hold of the maintenance guy. And I forget what the gentleman's name said. Hey, man, we know where your family is. If you don't turn the water off to these toilets in this cell so we can pull them away from the wall and break out of here, we're going to shank you. We're going to shank your family. We're going to shank everybody. Everyone's getting a handshake. And so he did. And like the reporter was saying, why didn't he turn around and say, hey, keep an eye over there. Just stand on the other side of this wall because they're going to come popping out like friggin' roaches. And so, but the main thing outside of the 10 guys running down the street was the spokesperson with the green glasses. Green glasses don't seem that bad now compared to what actually happened in the situation. But it was just kind of like, hey, if you're representing the police department and 10 felons got out of here, you would want to have some kind of, oops, sorry, my bad. How do I look at my glasses type deal? Oh, well. So we'd love to hear from you, and the way you can do that, we'd love to hear your opinion on that. Go to prophetradio.com, prophet radio.com. At the very top of the page says Be Heard. Leave a message for Deacon Live. We broadcast every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. When we come back, dealerships are getting a bad rap based on the police department. They're pulling over the customers that are test driving them to send a message to them. And what that message is, well, we'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Like I said, we'd love to hear from you. You can comment on what your opinion is about the girl with the green glasses, the spokesperson for the New Orleans Police Department, or if you want to comment about anything that we've been doing over the last 11 years or so, you can go back through our archives and listen to all the different shows, all the different stories and stuff we've been talking about, and tell us your opinion. Now, if you go back in there, you got to give me a little watermark as far as what episode you were listening to and say, hey, Deacon, I didn't agree with that, or I agree with that, which is hardly rare that people do, but for the most part, your voice can be heard right here on the show. We'll play your voice right here in the studio alongside of mine right here. You can join us, and the way you do that is go over to prophetradio.com, click on Be Heard, opens up a microphone. You can be anonymous if you want. We'd love to hear from you. All you have to do is put an email address in there. Don't worry, I'm not going to chase you down, and it's not an email grab or anything like that. They just want to make sure you are not a robot. Now, I recently have purchased, my wife and I just recently purchased a 2022 Chevy Silverado 2500 series High Country, and before that I had a 2012 Chevy Silverado. Do you see a pattern there? And before that I had a 97 Chevy Silverado. Definitely a pattern as far as I've got a type, you know what I mean? But I remember the 97 Chevy Silverado that I had, had all, not really, technology was not big at the time. The 2012 had a meter on the dashboard, which was really cool. And it said, oil life and how many, percentage it is right now. And right now my truck has like engine hours. My brand new truck has engine hours, different settings on the dial that all you have to do is scroll through. So you know what they're doing? They're removing the dipsticks. Not the guys making the cars. They're removing the dipsticks from the car. So new cars right now don't come with dipsticks at all. Ever wonder when you did your last oil change or needed to check your oil levels? We don't do that. For most of us, that's not a problem anymore. When we take our car in for an oil change, the mechanic will usually put a sticker on the windshield to let us know when's the next time for a visit. That's when they had a dipstick on it. But let's say we don't have a sticker anymore and any kind of maintenance reminder. So we pop open the hood and look for the dipstick. Wait, there's no dipstick there anymore. Once there were dipsticks were the go-to method for checking your oil levels to find out, if your oil has gone bad by looking at the consistency and rubbing it between your fingers. Just as odd as that may sound, many cars today don't come with dipstick anymore. Some sources say it's because automakers don't trust us to use them. So why make them? Why use the extra plastic? Why have that option for you? It's along the lines of, you rather have it than not need it than need it and not have it, right? So maybe there's some kind of conspiracy to keep drivers from coming in, or drivers coming in for oil changes, but more often that's not. But actually, it's because there's a lot more things are going digital. With digital oil lever measurements, customers can easily monitor the oil level in their vehicle's driver display and receive timely alerts if the oil level is outside the normal limits. Mercedes-Benz spokesperson Andrew Buchanan told Automotive News in Canada, this proactive approach helps to avert potential engine damage. It may just be us, but technology doesn't fix everything. But sometimes one solution can undo all the others. Using a dipstick is a fast and easy way to check to see if the car has, what it needs and it's doing right. Some cars even have dipsticks for checking transmission fluids, but now the drivers are left to rely on the screen to know if the car needs oil, or it sounds simple, but what if the touch screen isn't working? What if the car is off? It sounds like the auto manufacturers are getting out and checking the oil was a problem that needed fixing, but we haven't heard any complaints. So think about it, though. I mean, they have these machines, and you're trusting them. And, some people say, it's a scam, it's a gimmick. You got those diehards out there to go, no, they put it on a timer. So every time your engine turns over, even if it's just sitting there, turns over, it's just a timer. So you put it at 100%, and it just slowly, the clock just ticks down. And it says, okay, well, you've done X amount of time running your engine. You haven't done the mileage yet. It's time to change your oil. Instead of the old timers that would go out there with the dipstick and pull it out and look at it. And literally, I would do it too when I had older vehicles. I had a Volkswagen Bug and stuff. You take the oil and rub it in your fingers, and you're like going, it's kind of sticky, not really that good. Let's go ahead and change the oil on that. What if you got a truck like mine that has the capability of towing up to 15,000 pounds, and it wears on the engine? I could go 3,000 miles, but that engine is running and moving and doing a lot more stress on it. Maybe the oil is breaking down a little bit more. So tell me what you think. Do you even check your oil? Does anyone check their oils anymore over the age of 50? Maybe you're 50 years old and your dad taught you to change the oil in your vehicle and stuff, or at least check it. But under the age of 50, are you checking your oil with the dipstick? You just gotta look for it, right? Unless you're driving a car that's older than 20 years old. So let's throw that in the mix there, because I know that my 2012 had a dipstick on it. You big dipstick. Now this guy right here felt like a dipstick after he got pulled over by the police department. When Daniel Rocco walked into his local car dealership this past fall, he never expected to get swept away in a legal battle. The Texas resident was simply looking for a replacement vehicle following the recent death of his son in a car accident. Oh, great. What a way to start this story. Instead, the already grief-stricken Rocco found himself in the midst of a feud between the police department and the Longo, Longo, Toyota of Prosper in Texas. Moments after taking the truck for a test drive, Rocco was pulled over by a police officer and given a citation for operating a vehicle without license plates. He was going for a test drive. I mean, sometimes they throw that dealer tag on there. Sometimes they just kind of slip it up in the window. He says this has been an ongoing battle with these dealerships, Rocco told WFAA-TV. Rocco added that the officer then told him, in order to make the dealerships abide, we're going to start citing the customers. And that's when he handed Rocco a $250 ticket. But is it fair to the innocent customer to get caught in the crosshairs of an ongoing issue between the police department and the dealerships? No. Dealerships' mistakes are costing customers more and more again. The Prosper Police Department confirmed that Rocco's account, telling the news report that the dealership's responsibility to ensure that vehicles have proper tags. Quote, failure to operate a display dealer tag on a test-driven vehicle is a violation of Texas law and can pose safety risks, potentially resulting in enforcement actions by law enforcement. Under the state law, vehicles operators are held responsible for any citations if the law is ignored. The general manager of the dealership has confirmed with the incident with the news report. However, they claim that this is the first time a police has issued a citation to one of their customers. Typical dealers are supposed to issue a demo plate for the test drives. In the state of Texas, they are referred to as authorized agent tags, and they're meant to be solely for test drive loaners, road tests, transportation to and from the auction, and other dealer services. So, can you blame the police department? I mean, it's kind of nitpicky, isn't it really? I mean, hey, put tags on your car. Well, we're a dealership. We're just taking it out, and we do less than, what's a road test? 3 miles, maybe 3 miles. They already have a route. They know exactly where they're going, unless you get someone like me behind the wheel. I'm like going, nope, I want to get this thing up to 70 miles an hour. You don't want to do what, sir? I want to get this thing moving. I want to get it up there. I want to see how it, rides, and I want vibrations. I want to hear the sound. I want to hear the wind going through it. I want to make sure that this is I don't want to say airtight vehicle, but I want to know if there's any kind of, I want to drive this through all speeds. Now, I don't need to drive it through all terrain. I just want to drive through all speeds and see if this is going to do something for me. Okay, sir, but put your seatbelt on. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. So, is it fair? You know what I would do? Here's what I would do. Oh, you gave me a ticket, officer? Okay, great. Then I turn to the guy in the car and I go, so, looks like I got a $250 ticket because you didn't do your job. I'm going to be getting a dramatic decrease in the price of this vehicle. Sure, sir, we'll drop it $250 to make up for the difference. Oh, no, mon frere. We are dropping this vehicle another 20% off the cost of, but sir, that's $7,000. No, I don't care. You want me to fight this? I'll get this goddamn car for free. I'll take you to goddamn court. Because you can do that. I guess exactly. That's maybe not. When we come back, how to tell if a woman is a psychopath. It's the age-old question that all men and some women have been asking themselves, and I'll tell you exactly what studies have shown. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we'll give it to you. What you got to do to get it is go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsor of Deacon Live, and you can see all the fine programming that comes out of the studio. Pick yourself out something over there. It's a little drop-down menu, says free swag. Get yourself some stickers, some magnets. I think they got some headphones, free headphones, like earbuds in there still. So you can check that out over there at Prophet Radio. Them just saying thank you for listening and supporting all the fine programming that comes out of this studio. Now, once the guy bought the car, let's say, for example, you get a receipt? No, you don't get a receipt. You get all that big envelope or folder full of paperwork and stuff, and half the stuff you don't even read. Not even the warranty and stuff. But when you go to, CVS, who had the big mile-long receipts? Was it CVS, where they give you like 15 coupons and stuff, and it's like, ticker tape parade type stuff? Well, a doctor who studies toxic chemicals explains why he avoids paper receipts at the store. Plastic and the chemicals that they carry everywhere. Are everywhere. Let's retry that one again. Plastic and the chemicals they carry are everywhere, from our water to the air to the blood to the products that we use every day. That is a horrible opening statement. Researchers like Dr. Leonardo Testade know the unexpected places where these chemicals sneak into our lives, like receipts that you get from the grocery store, gas station, restaurants, or clothing outlets, just to name a few. We don't like to think of the thermal paper receipts as plastic, but the shiny coating is a polymer on top, he says. The professor of pediatrics and environmental health researcher at NYU in Langone told Business Insider, Tastan's main complaint about receipts is that the plastic polymer puts the receipt puts the polymer onto and into the human skin. All right, guy. Where there is plastic, he held, chemicals of concern can come along for the ride. When it's an option to receive a receipt by mailbox or text, Trastan said, go for that. Yeah, so we'll burn up all electricity and energy that takes the power the servers to send up to space and then come back down, and now you got a receipt. Then what do you do with it? You sit in front of your monitor or whatever, and your eyes get bad eyes and stuff. But this story continues. Receipts are usually made from thermal paper, which is designed to print using heat-sensitive inks. That makes for cheap and easy on-the-spot printing for restaurants and businesses. The problem is the thermal paper usually contains bisulfinoids, a class of chemical used in manufacturing plastics. The most famous bisphenol, I'm going with that one, called PBA. I'm sorry, not PBA. I'm thinking of Pabst Blue Ribbon. BPA BPA has been linked to heart disease, decreased fertilization, breast and prostate cancers, and in children, asthma and neurodevelopment issues. PBA has been phased out of U.S. products over the past decades, including receipts. However, the studies have found that many receipt manufacturers have replaced the PBA with its cousin BPS, which is banned in Europe for the use in food containers, considered a reproductive toxin by the state of California. They find everything bad in California. You can't do anything right out there. And has been associated with breast cancer. So if you touch a receipt coated with the BPS toxin, the toxic chemical can quickly enter your body by absorbing through your skin, according to recent research. This year, a non-profit watchdog Center for the Environmental Health tests receipts from 32 major retailers and found that touching one of them for 10 seconds exposes someone to enough PBS to legally require a warning in California. Oh, Jesus Christ! California, cut us some slack. Under the state's provision 65, businesses must provide warning about significant exposure to chemicals that cause cancer or reproductive harm. The CEH delivered a legal notice for all of the 32 realtors in April. Quote, chemicals used in plastic materials need to be properly vetted for safety, Trastan said. Insofar as chemicals are identified to be toxic to human, we have safer alternatives that should be considered. He called the electronic receipts an important positive step forward. So, all right, let's go back to me now. We're not eating the receipts, all right? We're touching them. How many receipts do you touch in a day? Okay, think about it. Okay, I go grocery shopping. You want your receipt in the bag? Yes. What about the cashiers that have to touch those receipts all the time? Those are the people that need to be worried about. Me, I might touch this week alone, I might touch 4 receipts. Am I going to have breast cancer? Am I going to have prostate cancer? Am I going to have some kind of mental learning disability? Will my child, if I have a child, I don't have any children, will he have a learning disability other than just being my son? Would be my son or daughter. That would be an impact in itself. But no, it's the people that are the cashiers. Now, I know some places have unions, like cashier unions or retail unions. They need to step up. They need to step up and say, no more plastic straws, no more thermal paper receipts. Everything's got to be handwritten from now on. Yeah, let's see how far that goes. You want to complain about the prices of stuff now? Get rid of those thermal receipts and figure out what's going to happen after that. Now, researchers say, another study, which can be proven, which can be melded into whatever belief that you have. Researchers say that you can tell if a woman is a psychopath just by looking at her face. Well, there's so many stories that you could go down with that one. I'm sure there's a flip side of looking at men's faces too, but for the purpose of this show, this is the article I came across. While it's not an official diagnosis of psychopath described by someone callous and emotional and morally depraved, they are hard to spot, especially considering approximately 29% of the general population exhibits one or more psychopathic traits, such as antisocial behavior, impulsiveness, superficial charm, like myself, and lack of empathy. I don't know about that one. Yet, according to a recent study published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, I gotta re-up my subscription on that. Simply looking at a woman's face may reveal if she is a psychopath. Go on. Researchers say that you can tell if a woman's face by a woman is a psychopath just by looking at her face. Wow. Studies have found out that the amount of makeup a woman wears, or rather doesn't wear, may reveal that she's a psychopath. The researchers surveyed 1,410 Brazilian women about their makeup usage habits, and instructed them to complete an online survey that measured their quote-unquote dark triad traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathic. All right, let's find out more. Results revealed that makeup usage was positively associated with narcissism and the extroversion and negativity with being a psychopath, they reported. In other words, women who regularly wore lots of makeup scored highly on the narcissistic scale, while the opposite was true for those who scored higher in the psychopathic scale as well. In social situations, they discuss at home, on a first date, in business meetings, and the gym. Women who scored highly on the psychopathic scale were less likely to put on lipstick or eyeliner or blush. According to the data from the YouGov, 26% of women in the United States never wear makeup. But of course, that doesn't mean that a quarter of the U.S. women, around 42 million people, are psychopaths. The true number is way far lower. It's hard to qualify exactly how many psychopaths are out there, male or female. However, it's less likely that 1% of the population are considered quote-unquote psychopaths. That being said, recent researchers say that they have underestimated the number of female psychopaths out there because of this study. Psychopathy has long been a male-dominated disorder, and that yet may not be a reality, at least according to Dr. Clive Boddy, Boddy, a leading expert in psychopaths. The true behavior, quote, a female psychopath seems to be subtle enough, but less obvious than a male psychopath. Therefore, they're not recognized as much, he explained. One sign has less to do with what's on a woman's face, and more to do with how she moves her head. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Personality and Individual Differences found that female psychopaths are more likely to hold their heads rigid when they talk. The study involved 213 incarcerated women between the ages of 21 and 57 from medium to maximum security correctional facilities in the U.S. The woman who assessed for psychopathic traits and during the interview had automated detection algorithm that monitored their head movements. Patterns of the head movement and dynamics have been associated with various forms of psychopathology. Researchers say that the results indicate that individuals with pronounced psychopathic trends move their heads less in an interview than those with lower level of these traits. So, what did we learn today on that one? Well, you either wear a lot of makeup, that means you're narcissistic. I don't know about here's the thing. Say what you want about who they studied, the 1,400 people. They studied it in Brazil, and they studied women in Brazil. Now, there's a lot of men out there that know, and there's a lot of women out there that know, that when you start getting into that, what they call that Latin blood, that you know, type, you know, there is some kind of high level of something there that's in, you know, instead of just doing Brazil, they should have done, like, you know, different groups, different, you know, genres of people. You know, let's do white people, let's do black people, let's do Spanish people, and then let's see who's the psychopath. When you do all Brazilian people, Spanish people, you don't go to Puerto Rico and do this, because they're all psycho, so they're over there. But even the same thing, when you're talking to someone, a female, as they said it when they were talking to the incarcerated people, they would not move their head. They'd just sit there and talk to you like, yes, I would love to do that. No, I have no feeling. If you're watching me here on the YouTube video, no, that would be great. Psycho. Okay. When we come back, do you like popcorn? Well, speaking of psychos, this guy right here is ruling the internet with the way he eats the way he eats popcorn. And people are going, this guy is psycho. Well, it's a Mission Impossible we'll dive into next. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, all the musical artists that you hear during the show are all independent artists. They are out here supporting our podcast, and without them, we wouldn't be here. And without you, they would not be here as well. So if there's an artist out there that you're listening to during any one of the breaks here, and you hear any kind of information about them, make sure you show them some love as well. And if you've missed or want to hear any of the full-length songs that they have, Deacon Live, we have put together a playlist of all the artists that have been with us since 2025. And I think there's almost close to 100 different artists over there on our playlist. And the way you find that playlist, go to Spotify, search Music Heard on Deacon Live, and you can see their full-length page. Well, they're full-length songs, and they actually get a little credit for it. You know, everyone's trying to make it in this world, and they would appreciate it if you sit there and listen to their songs over there on the Spotify playlist. That's Music Heard on Deacon Live. Check them out as well. Now, every generation has got their own little quirks. Every generation's got their own little lingo, their dialect and stuff like that. You know, don't have a cow, man, groovy, what up, doe, and the list goes on and on. But this new trend right now is happening among the Gen Alpha, which is the people coming up right now. We recently discovered, let's see, if your child is currently responding with 6'7", they are certainly not alone, nor are any person who is confused by what the hell this means. As one person recently shared the response to a TikTok video on the phrase, "Someone tell me please what this mean or I'm going to scream," they say on TikTok, just to get the likes and the clicks. The saying seems to be originated from the drill rap Doot Doot, D-O-O-T, 6'7" by Skrilla, and has also been associated with a basketball player, LaMelo Ball, who is, yep, you guessed it, 6'7". It has since been incredibly popular on TikTok. Of course it has. Why not? And people using it in the song, the edited footage of a basketball player to create the 6'7" memes, and now kids are using it in every opportunity that it can. But what does it mean? What does it mean? According to parents, some say it means so-so, especially since the kids often pair the phrase with an up and down hand motion. I guess like this. I don't know. If you're watching me here on the YouTube video. Others argue to refer to a person who is tall. Some think it stands for a basketball term, and so on and so forth. Reaffirming the so-so meaning, one person shared on TikTok, 6'7" is like a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. You're 6'7", but, you know, good, but not that great. Kids have also been asked a question like, how tall are you? Or what score did you get on your test? And they only respond to 6'7". Another TikToker suggested that it means anything you basically want it to mean. Like skibbity. Everything's skibbity. Where'd that go? See you later. Skibbity's gone skibbity bye-bye. Now 6'7's taken over. You can use it in any context or make sense of it because it just doesn't make sense in itself. Radical. Dude. How about that one? Perhaps TikTok creator and teacher Philip Lindsay sums it all up best. He says in an explainer video, it's actually meaningless and it means absolutely nothing. So let's see if we can pull up his video here. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube, and you can check this out as well. So here we go. This is, what's her name? Made with _hope. And this is the explainer video. So let me switch over to camera 4 here so we can see it and all be friends. So here we go.
Miss Hope, I got you. 4th graders using these words is crazy work, but I hear these words all the time with my middle schoolers, and I know what they mean.
First up, we've got 6'7".
Okay, so 6'7" is the word to say right now. 6'7". Now here's where it comes from. It comes from a song by Skrilla that says 6'7" in it. LaMelo Ball talks about how he is 6'7". People started making edits of LaMelo Ball with the song over it, and now 6'7" has just become a meme that gets repeated over and over and over and over again. But it's actually meaningless. It means nothing.
Up, we've got frickin' packet.
Okay, frickin' packet, yo. Now this meme comes from a video that is very old, like 2013. Like I had just graduated high school. I remember seeing
All right, I got it. Thank you very much. So it's 6'7", 6'7", 6'7". How's the show? It's 6'7". My wife asked me, how'd the show go today? I'll tell her 6'7", 6'7", whatever that means. Oh, well. When we come back, this woman was standing in line at an airport, and what she had in her hand has again driven TikTok people insane. And what it is, we'll dive into it and why she was carrying it when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us over on Facebook. Yes, our Facebook page is alive and well, and we'd love to share some stuff for you over there. And when I say share some stuff with you, a lot of the videos or a lot of the articles that we have during the show, we'll post them up there in real time as we're talking about them here on the show. So just if you'd like to read some news articles and get away from some political stuff that's on your normal Facebook feed and stuff, give us a like and a little subscribe over there over on the Facebook. Just search Deacon Live, all one word, and you'll see the episodes when they come up. If you're not subscribed to us on iHeart or Spotify, and you'll see a little bit more behind the scenes of the podcast. And don't forget, we do broadcast over on YouTube as well. Make sure you subscribe to us over there. Search Deacon Live Podcast, and you can see the full-length podcast in its true form over there as well. And it's a well-produced thing. I've got multiple cameras here. We switch screens and stuff. You'll have a good time over there. And we're slowly coming up on, I think, over 3,000 subscribers over there. So we'd love for you to be part of that team. Now, there's a woman out there who was just standing in line, I think at the airport. I'm not sure what she was doing. And she had something in her hand. And someone zoomed in, and it was like right out of a spy movie. And she was looking at it, and the video starts out said, I'm sorry, what the fuck is that? So I don't know if this was a scam or scheme or one of those setup things. It's this woman. She's got, I don't know, she's early 20s or whatever, tall woman. She's like 5'10", long brown hair. She looks like she's doing this on purpose. But in her hand, she's got a clear cell phone, and she's looking down at it, and the video goes on. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here so you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here, because there's a little bit more of why she's got this thing in her hand. So here we go. Here she is. She's standing in line, and it's a clear cell phone. She's looking at it. Looks like she's scrolling, and then she catches the camera guy's eye, and then he turns it off real quick. She's sitting there, scrolling, and then she turns and looks, and he cuts it off real quick. So that video right there has gone viral. A woman was spotted with a clear cell phone. Let me switch back to me now. Has explained what the contraption really is. A few days ago, TikToker Cat GPT, C-A-T, Cat GPT, sent people into a frenzy after sharing a clip of her stood in a queue. God, these articles are not written well. And seemingly scrolling through a see-through phone. The clip has since amassed over 52 million views. 52 million at the time of this writing. So, caption in a short video, completely clear phone spotted in San Francisco on May 14th. It didn't take long for people to take to the comments on this now hugely viral video. One person asked, could that be the new Nokia Clear? Another person suggested it was a Black Mirror promo, and then so on and so forth. The most popular theory was one about Nokia's Clear cell phone, which was reportedly has been reported that can set a person back thousands and thousands of dollars. While the rumor mill has been long turning since this topic has come up, Nokia has never confirmed that the Clear cell phone actually existed. And some call it's something. So the actual name of this phone that she has, it's called a Methaphone, M-A-T-H-A phone, Methaphone, according to Kat, the person who was holding the phone. It's exactly what it looks like, a clear plastic piece of acrylic shaped like an iPhone, she explains in the follow-up video. In the wake of her newfound viral stardom, let me see, can I find her? Let's see if we can find her, because I don't want to read this whole thing if she's going to explain it to me. Let's see, go to TikTok. You guys watching this here on this is where the YouTube video. Clear phone lady. Cat. Let's search for Cat GPT and see what happens. Cat GPT. No, I didn't want Chat GPT, you dumb fuck. Cat GPT. Okay, so here she is.
Today is not the day that I reveal whether or not I am an AI creator, but it is the day that I reveal I've been running an experiment on my followers. 2 days ago, I posted a video called WTF is an AI agent, and I wrote that script myself. The second day,
All right. So where is she at? Ask Cat GPT. Oh, here's a clear phone. Here it is. Got it. Found it.
Is a methaphone.
Here it goes.
This is exactly what it looks like. A clear piece of acrylic.
Thanks to everybody who brought this follow-up video to my attention. It was not, in fact, a Samsung
Oh, God. I don't want that. Let's see. Let's go back to her page, and let's see if we can find her video. Here it is.
This is a methaphone. It is exactly what it looks like.
Methaphone.
A clear piece of acrylic shaped like an iPhone. But why does it exist? My friend is actually the inventor and creator of these, and he told me that what he wanted to test was if we're all so addicted to our phone.
So when she says, are we in camera 4? So when she says he's the creator of this thing, you're telling me he created a clear piece of plastic that looked like a phone? And you're kind of doing a stretch there. So here she goes.
Then could you potentially curb somebody's addiction by replacing the feeling of having a phone in your pocket with something that feels exactly the same? Now, I commentate on technology's impact on society, right? So obviously I have something to say.
Obviously.
I think the reason 13 million people and counting are intrigued about that video of me in the boba shop and why this is so completely sold out right now is because this little piece of acrylic feels like a physical artifact that directly responds to this collective tension we all feel about how our devices, which are meant to make us more connected, are actually having the exact opposite effect. This is not
No. And the reason why I'm gonna tell you why it's making us feel more connected and you know, it's actually tearing us apart. I'm gonna give you a little background in what's going on in my life. When I started the show, yeah, everything's fine. I dropped my phone. I dropped my physical phone and the screen broke. No more screen. Bye-bye screen. See you later. So I have no phone anymore. So I'm like, I said, babe, it's fine. It's fine. I got an old, you know, I don't leave the house here. So I've got, you know, old phones. I can just connect to the Wi-Fi and do all research and stuff on my phone. My wife texted me from work. I don't know how she texted me. Emailed me. She emailed me. She's like, I'm having anxiety because I can't get a hold of you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm having anxiety because I can't reach out into the world other than sitting in front of my computer, in front of my desktop here and searching stuff. I don't have that in my phone. So when it says it keeps us isolated, bullshit. No, it keeps us connected. So I'm just saying the clear phone, first of all, she's somewhat of attractive. Second of all, she's probably getting, you know, a percentage of how many of these phones that she sells. So there you go. That's what it is. It was an experiment. The guy invented a clear phone for you to just walk around. It's got the same weight as a phone and all that stuff. So yeah, fuck her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I will tell you, I have anxiety right now because I can't find my phone. I have to go down to the cell phone store and get a new phone or see if they can swap these cards out into an old phone that I got. It's so old. The screen's so small. And speaking of technology, I teased this earlier. Tom Cruise, remember that guy? You remember that guy? Boy, I'll tell you what. He's got this new, Mission Impossible movie coming out. I guess it's hitting theaters right now. He's getting up there. Scientology is not escaping those crow's feet and his wrinkles and stuff. Now, it doesn't look like he's had any surgery or anything like that. He's trying to, you know, drink from the fountain of youth. Maybe he's been pulling from the wrong side of the till, but he is getting old looking. And there's a video right now of Tom Cruise eating popcorn that has fans in disbelief. Oh, God. So with the Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning hitting theaters May 23rd, Cruise has been taking the rounds to promote this new film. And at screenings earlier this week, the iconic actor was spotted chatting up the movie theater workers, which sparked an interesting online interaction. Quote, I use this all the time to talk to absolutely insane amount of information Tom Cruise gave in a pre-screening speech. First, This is the article written. Am I on the right screen? I get so excited sometimes. Yes, I'm on the right screen. First, he asks us all, not once but twice, if we had popcorn. I showed him a bucket to confirm. Then he usually goes, I normally eat 2 buckets by myself during a movie. Jesus Christ, Tom, put it down. Popular film personality, whatever, revealed. So her comment prompted another social media user to post a video of Tom Cruise crushing a bag of popcorn while standing in the aisle of the movie theater while waiting for the premiere to go on. So here's the video. Well, this is a post of it. So he's sitting there eating a big tub of popcorn. You cut a hole in the box. Something like that. I forget. This is the video right here where everyone's freaking out about the way Tom Cruise eats popcorn. Now I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here, and you can see this in real time as we're discussing here on Deacon Live. Go over to YouTube, search Deacon Live podcast, and you can see this in real time. So here we go. Here's how Tom Cruise eats popcorn. I'm going to hit play here. Here we go.
At some point. And tomorrow night
there he goes. Drops a couple pieces. That looks okay. Okay, there's one handful, 2, 3, 4. If you're not watching this, how do you eat popcorn? I reach a handful in there, and I get enough in my hand that can only fit in my mouth, right? Disrespect to me now. And then a couple crumbs fall off. And then you reach, I do like the 4, like the claw, the game, the claw, with the 3 prongs. And I'll grab, what is there, like 4 or 5 kernels in there, and I put them in my mouth. Tom Cruise, the way he eats popcorn, he grabs it and he's chucking it in his mouth. Like throwing it in his mouth. Like he's eating like raisins or like nuts or pistachios or something like, peeled pistachios. That's a bad analogy. But anyways, his hand never hits his mouth. He's throwing the pieces of popcorn in his mouth 3 at a time. Some are hitting his cheeks. Some are hitting the side. I'm going to play this video one more time. Rewind it. Here we go. Here he goes. He's got a couple in his hand. Whoop, just throws it in there. Dropped a couple. Throws a couple more. And throws it in again. It goes down in his jacket. He's making a mess, Tom. Tom, you're making a mess. Pick it up. But that video right there has gone wild as far as the way Tom Cruise, actors are just like us. Not Tom Cruise. He's a different breed of person. Now, unfortunately, this breed of person has passed away. In my childhood, and I say my childhood, in the 80s, late 80s and early 90s, this show was must-see TV. The long-running NBC sitcom Cheers, the gentleman who sits at the end of the bar, Norm, played by actor George Wendt, unfortunately has passed away. And if you don't know who he is, you know what he looks like. When he comes into the bar, everyone goes, Norm! Unfortunately, family sources have told us that he has died early Tuesday morning, passing peacefully in his sleep at home. George's family remembers him as a doting family member and a family man and a well-loved friend and confidant for those who luckily enough to know him. They say he will be missed forever. Yes, he will be missed forever. Wendt starred as Norm Peterson in all 275 episodes of Cheers. He earned 6 consecutive nominations and a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. When Cheers went off the air in 1993, George got his own sitcom called The George Wendt Show. George also acted on the big screen with roles in Airplane 2, the sequel, No Small Affair, Fletch, The Little Rascals, Spice World, Outside Providence, Alice in Wonderland, Satan. No, I'm sorry, not Satan. Buddy, and Sandy Wexler. He was born in Chicago as one of 9 children and went to high school in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, before enrolling in the University of Notre Dame. After college, he got into sketch comedy, improv, and landed a few small roles like in Taxi, Soap, and MASH before getting his big break on Cheers. George was 76 years old, and here is the way a lot of people have celebrated the life and history of George Wendt. Born in 1948, passed away this past Tuesday at the age of 76. So here we go. I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. And we got to...
Where everyone knew his name.
Oh, I'm going to get flagged for that. So everybody knows your name. I got to sing over it.
The Boston bar that inspired Cheers is paying tribute to George Wendt, the actor who played Norm Peterson for 11 seasons.
It's nice to meet you. What do you do, Norm?
I sit there.
A beer was placed at the end of the bar in his honor.
He came through here, and he's just a really nice guy. Kind of quiet, a little shy, which is surprising. But yeah, I was more than happy to sit at that bar and drink some beer.
Still pouring, Norm?
Oh, ad.
That's funny. I was about to ask you the same thing.
His role as the self-deprecating bar regular would earn him 6 consecutive Emmy nominations. Wendt, also known for this iconic sketch on Saturday Night Live.
The Bears.
Fun at Chicago sports fans.
A team that is known as the Bears.
Last year, he reprised that role at a charity event alongside his nephew, actor Jason Sudeikis, and Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce.
Guys.
Yeah. You're really pushing it.
Oh, uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Look who's losing it, just like he did in the Super Bowl.
Back in 1993, 93 million people tuned in for the series finale of Cheers.
You want to know what I love? Beer, Norm? Yeah, have a quick one.
Yeah, have a quick one.
Ted Danson saying he is devastated by the loss of his friend, adding, "It is going to take me a long time to get used to this. I love you, Georgie."
Afternoon, everybody. No!
After the show wrapped, Wendt would go on to star on Broadway, but it was his iconic role sitting on that bar stool and his wisecracking one-liners so many will remember. Wendt's former co-star Rhea Perlman calling him the sweetest, kindest man I ever met. George Wendt was 76.
He brought a smile to so many people's faces. He died on May 20th. That is the same day the series finale of Cheers aired back in 1993.
So there you go. If you haven't seen the show, I'll tell you what. The alpha millennials out there, it's more than a 6-7. Believe me. It's a great show. It still holds up to this day. So, unfortunately, Norm Peterson has passed on to that great bar tap into the sky. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you follow us over on Facebook. Make sure you follow us over on YouTube. You can be podcast famous. Go over to Prophet Radio. Click on Be Heard. Your voice can be right here in the studio alongside of us. And you can be podcast famous over on TikTok as well. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name is the Deacon saying goodnight and goodnight.
Wait. Come back.
This is the absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
Norm. 76. He looked rough at the end, though. Oh, well. See ya. Bye.